Hey everybody, it's Dan, your friendly fishmonger at dansfish.com, and let me show you what we've got done today. A whole lot. So for those that might have seen other videos, you'll remember that this used to be just full of junk. Well, it's been cleared out, and finally we're gonna get our office spaces set up. So when we built the warehouse, we built these nice windows here, right? So we can have desks by them, see outside occasionally. And finally, we're going to be able to move stuff over. So we're bringing stuff over gradually. Next few days, we should have offices all through here. Not closed off or anything, but you know, workspaces here. We've got this assembled. This is our backup generator. We finally got it out of the crate, got the wheels on, so it's mobile now. So if anything happens, we just take this thing outside, turn it on, and plug it into an outlet outside. And then we'll be okay. So besides that, we've been packing a lot of fish today, and I've started working on this. The next article for the next newsletter is going to be the ultimate guide to Amazon puffers. I have pages and pages of notes here. I've read a half dozen scholarly articles or so. And got to know quite a bit about them. So I've kept them in aquariums and things, but I wanted to flesh out my knowledge a little bit. So I'll be sharing that with you guys in a few days. Just got my notes together for that, and now it's time to feed the fish. All right, so here's our bag of tricks. We got here extreme krill. Love this stuff. These are Hikari Massivore Delight pellets. I like them because fish can just snack on them for hours if they're little. Put this in a tank with a bunch of little fish, they'll just chew on it for a couple hours. These are the extreme bottom scratchers. Nice veggie option. Here are, this is the smaller version of these. These are the Hikari carnivore pellets. And then this here is Hikari Vibrobites. And I usually have, I gotta go get it. I'm missing my spirulina flakes. And last but not least, Zoomed spirulina flakes. So it's a mix. I'm not like super loyal to any one food company. I think it's good to give a mix of different brands and different types of food. Rotate the foods all the time so that you get a wider diversity of nutrients, I guess. We also mix in live foods and frozen foods. But for today, we're going to be feeding mostly this stuff. It's been a while since we've done a good old-fashioned unboxing. Got a box of very, very special fish here today. Let's see how they do. By the way, it's Tuesday now. The footage you saw up till now was Monday. Welcome to Tuesday. All right. Well, this looks bagged quite nicely. Check that out. "75.5 degrees, just like we like it." These are Rhabnocentris ornatus from Tiwa Creek. They're little. Most of these will have to grow out, but that's okay. For rads, I'll grow them out. All right, let's see what we're doing. And then there's another very, very special fish in here too. So here's the second species. This is a very special fish. This is Chilotharina centeniensis. There's a lot of debate about, I have two sources for these. One source, there's a lot of debate about whether they're actually centeniensis But this source, the source came directly from Johannes Graf, so we are confident these ones are in fact true Centenniensis. I'll probably need to wait till we get into the aquarium to show you this, but what we're looking at is the second dorsal fin. You want that low and compact. That's one of the main tells. In the face, you want nice and long and pointy. I mean, these definitely look like Centenniensis to me. Boom. All right, this is a group of Rhamnocentris Tiwa Creek. So Rhamnocentris ornatus from Tiwa Creek. Let me get that out of the way a little bit. So these guys are also going to get baby brine shrimp because they need to grow out a bit before we can sell them. So they'll get baby brine, you know, a couple times a day. Put some weight on them. Make them fat and sassy. So this is kind of what we do first thing in the morning. We go around and we feed stuff that's small or skinny or just has a really high metabolism. So that kind of thing, like puffers, for example. So those kinds of fish get fed 2 to 3 times a day. And everyone else that's big and fat and sassy and doesn't have a high metabolism and isn't growing real fast and stuff, we tend to feed once a day. But there are fish that we want to get some extra nutrition into. These are looking good. They are Chilothrina centenniensis. And I know. Wait, I know. There's a lot of controversy over this fish. There's lots of times when Centenniensis is sold and it turns out that it's not Centenniensis, it's Chilothrina, the Fasciata from Lake Centani. But these ones, the broodstock, came from Johannes Graf himself, so I'm pretty confident that they're the actual thing. They look like they have the right body shape, the red's coming in, and the second dorsal looks to be compact and all that. What I need to know before I know for sure is I need to take a real close-up shot and count the fin rays in the second dorsal fin. That'll tell me for sure. Pretty darn confident that these are the actual thing. Alright, so now it's Wednesday, and what we've got done is we have some of our desks, well, they're really cheap little tables, but we call them desks, moved over to the office space, so that's good. These are just plastic folding tables from like Walmart or Home Depot. Nothing fancy. Back in the 90s, I used to have a couple roommates that were software engineers, and they worked for a .com. And I'll never forget going to their office, and it was super nice. It was all decked out, had all the trimmings. The desks were like really super fine wood. They had this massive conference table. It looked great. And I'll never forget going back a couple weeks later after they went bankrupt and buying one of those desks for super cheap because they had to get out of the building like immediately. So ever since that experience, I've always thought about function over, I guess, just looks or the trappings of success. Yeah, I've thought about actual success versus the trappings of success. So I'm not worried about a plastic desk, especially for a while. I'd much rather have a plastic desk that works and doesn't put me out of business versus a really nice, fine, custom wood desk and then run out of cash. So that's kind of our philosophy here. Just we're very practical, I guess. So anyway, that's all being moved over here. I have finally today. Monday I didn't get to it. Yesterday I still didn't have a word written down. I just had the title. So today I've finally gotten a couple pages of the Amazon Puffer article written. That should be, I'm hoping by the end of the day that we can get that done. But for now I've got to transition over here. I'm going to step over to the packing table and relieve someone there so they can go to lunch. And I will pack fish while they're at lunch, and when they get back, we'll rotate out and hopefully be able to finish that article. So that's what's going on so far today. Want to see something super exciting? I finally did it. Finally. Finished the article. Oh, Yay. Have 4 good pages here. I think that's enough. Might be the best article I've ever written on fish. I'm pretty happy with it. So anyway, that'll be released in the newsletter pretty soon. I still need to get the pictures and other media to, you know, splice in all those paragraphs. But yeah, I think it's got good information. Now what I need to do is scrub a bunch of tanks. The next several hours of my life is scrubbing algae. So this tank, these are super red crabinzas, pretty cool. Each tank has its own scrubby pad, so we don't mix the scrubby pads between tanks. So we hopefully won't spread as much disease around is the whole idea. But anyway, there's a ton of algae I gotta get. While the fish are going through quarantine, we often don't scrub the algae off because we don't want to get our hands in the tanks or do anything like that until we know the fish are healthy. Because if they do have a disease, we don't want to pick it up and then, you know, move it on to another tank. So often the tanks coming right out of quarantine are pretty algae covered because they haven't seen a scrubby pad for a couple weeks. Oh man, those look good. But look at these. These are a regular old Pelvicochromis pulcher, but these are the super red form. They've been selectively bred for red for years. And check them out. Look how much red is on those males. Wow, that's a good looking fish. Check those out. Like, look at how much more red is on those. That seriously is super red. Check him out. Reminds me a little bit of a Sacramontis. Or Sacramonti, I always throw an S on the end. Just because of the amount of red on there. But nope, those are pulcher. Wow, that's cool. Anyway, I'll have to scrub more tanks. You know what's nice about these snow white plecos? They scrub the tank for me. Oh, those look great. Okay, got more tanks to clean. Gotta move, gotta move. You know, look at that. Dirty knees, man. That's what happens when you kneel all day long. Need some knee pads. These are long fin white clouds. They're looking fantastic. I know this tank probably doesn't look like much from that far away, but let me show you what these are. These are very, very rare live bears. This is the 4-spot Merry Widow. And we have babies. Got all little babies down there. Very excited about them. Finally got some coastite tetras in. The blackline tetra. These were hobbyist bred and raised. Another really hard to find live bear. This is a Phosphorus milleri, also bred and raised by aquarists and aquariums. And then these are the always beautiful super blue Carry tetras. Well, I've got about 40 more tanks with algae on them I need to scrub down so I can get pictures. So I'm going to do that without the camera because I love showing you guys, but that takes forever. So I'm just going to get on that and I'll be back when I'm done. Well, hello everybody. Today is Thursday. So Thursday went by fast, huh? I'm starting Friday. Hello, it's Friday. I'm starting Friday with some feeding. We have a colony of breeding pipefish, freshwater pipefish here, which is pretty cool. You don't see them a lot because we have a lot of plants in the tank, but let's see real quick if we can catch a glimpse. But oh, here's the one. Hey, this is rare. Look at that. We actually get to see one. And it's gone. And every now and then the babies come out. They're growing nicely. Some of the babies are already 1.5 inches or so. And the way we have this set up is you see down in the sand there, we have scuds. We also put our shrimp culls in here. And so there's constant baby scuds and baby shrimp for the pipefish to eat. And then we also feed them baby brine shrimp a couple times a day. So they have a nice smorgasbord. They like all these plants. They can feel secure. The babies can hide. And we see them every now and then, and every time we see them, they've grown. So they're doing pretty well. Anyway, kind of cool to catch a glimpse. Let's move on. Something else we like to do in the morning is check on some of the plecos, make sure that they're eating okay, make sure the food that we put in last night is actually gone, because if they stop eating, that's a real quick indication that something's wrong and we need to check on them. Fortunately, they eat like little pigs, but let's check and see how they're doing. So we're just gonna go across here. These are mini snowballs. They ate all their food. More mini snowballs, the L471s. More L471s. Looks like they ate everything. Last tank of mini snowballs. Good, food's all gone. Ocelots ate their food. And there's a tiny bit left, but the ocelots are small, so I'm not real surprised. But they ate pretty good. These guys, this is another tank of ocelots. They ate all their food. Another tank of ocelots. That's the L174. And those guys ate. So that's awesome. So we have a lot more plecos to check, but that's one section down. So I just checked in with Johnny about this ocelot tank that has a little bit of leftover food, and it looks like this is the tank that we've been selling ocelots out of. So our population has dropped, and it looks like we just need to cut the feeding a little bit. So they're fine. We just need to adjust feeding for the lower population in here. So we'll make that adjustment. I heard some banging around. What you doing? Filter changing. It never ends, does it? Good times. I just wanted to take a moment and show you the auto sinkless. Their food just got dropped in this morning. They haven't even eaten it yet. And I just want to show you how fat their little bellies are. They ate their zucchini last night for sure. Look at them, they're doing so good. And they're pellet trained, they eat algae wafers really well. But we also give them zucchini and put in pipes and wood and stuff that has algae on it for them to browse. And they do really well. It's always nice when you can show fat auto sinkless. Here's another auto that I'm really excited about. These are the orange zebra auto sinkless. Sometimes they're called the RoboCop auto sinkless. And these guys, they take a lot longer. There's a pellet down by the rim here. They take a lot longer to get pellet trained. So right now, that's their zucchini that you can see they absolutely burned through. And then every day we rotate algae covered pipes and plates and things in here and take out the ones that they've cleaned off. We also use algae powders or Apache powders, things like that. We'll shake those up in water, get them to sink, and then we'll put them down in here. And those powders will kind of coat the plates and things. And these guys will graze off that. You might see some baby brine shrimp in here. That's because we have some baby rainbow fish up top. But also, as the baby brine shrimp settle down on these plates, these autos will scrape those off when they settle down as well. I'm going to continue feeding. I just thought since those are kind of special cases, how we treat those, that I would call them out for you. Man, I've really got to scrub the algae off the front of this tank, because every morning this guy fires up and he looks so good with his nice black Harlequin Rasbora type coloration there. And this is the tank right across from my desk, so I see him all day long. A few hours every morning. When we first come in till about lunchtime, he's all fired up like this. All right, so we are about to fire up our generator here. This is our backup plan for if the power goes out. This thing's a monster. It can handle our furnace, our HV, our air pump, everything we need to keep the temperatures in there and keep air going to the tanks and things so we can survive if the power goes out. So let's see, Random Arms here. Let's see how we did. Hey! All right, we got our backup plan. It's going good. Look what I finally got done. Ta-da! The newsletter is finally done. Pretty happy with it. It's I think a pretty useful article on Amazon puffers. It's long. The text itself was 4 pages, so there's a lot of information in this thing. But yeah, I like it. I think it's pretty good. I might add a few things to it, a few PR and kind of marketing things to it a little bit. But the main article is done. I've got the pictures in it. I've got the videos in it. It's ready to go. So feels good. Friday evening, finally got there. Well, howdy everybody. I just finished editing that vlog video and realized I didn't do an outro. Shame on me. So, we're doing the outro now. We do a live stream every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. That's 9 Eastern. So, if you like this kind of stuff and want to geek out about fish, and we talk about fish, we talk about aquariums, I can answer any questions you might have. And we do that every Wednesday on YouTube at the Dan's Fish channel, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Again, that's 9 Eastern. So hope to see you there. Anyway, until next time, I hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.